What is up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another XRP update. You're going to want to watch this one. I'll make it quick. So, Chris Larsen, executive chairman of Ripple, we're going to be sharing this quote discussing ILP interledger protocol, the protocol of interoperability between all of these ledgers. Then we have the XRP ledger as the ledger, and XRP is the digital asset or the primary means of exchange, being one of the most scalable and efficient digital assets out there. Also, a little coincidence, ILP, created by the company Ripple. Now, who happens to be building on it besides other groups? I mean, of course, we can talk about Microsoft, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and Mojaloop. Well, let's go to LinkedIn. This is Konstantin or Kostapatic, and check this out. So, working, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and we can kind of see his background. Chair of the board of directors on Mojaloop, that's Swahili for one loop, banking the unbanked throughout Africa. We can also see member board of directors on Interledger Foundation. Interesting. And also, not a coincidence, 23 years at Swift. There's a method to the madness, and he coincidentally was the chief architect. Architected SwiftNet. Can't make this stuff up. I encourage you guys to look into this a little bit more deeply as well. It goes very, very deep. Also, CLS, Continuous Link Settlement, development manager, massive money moving through the system, trillions of dollars, guys. And of course, Swift processes roughly $5+ trillion on a daily basis. Now, we're going to take it back. Chris Larsen, Ripple is working on a replacement for Swift. How to get all, not some, all of the payment providers onto ILP, Interledger Protocol, and how to use XRP as on-demand liquidity. Now, this is, of course, back in 2019, but you have to remember these things going forward because now Interledger Foundation essentially just came out earlier this year. So, yes. And also, fun fact, I saw Variable Bull do a really good video covering Greg Kidd recently, so I wanted to also point this out. So, remember, Greg Kidd, early investor in Twitter. I forgot, was he roommates with Jack Dorsey? I'm forgetting, so correct me if I'm wrong. Founder of Global ID. We can also see he was an early Ripple employee as well. One of like the first, 5 or 10. He was the chief risk officer, and he actually owns 1 billion XRP, 1% of the entire float. Absolutely loved his interview he did a while back with Digital Asset Investor. I encourage you guys to go watch that if you have the time to do so. If you have any doubt with XRP in the future of this digital asset space, go watch that interview. So Greg Kidd with 2 Ds. Check it out. It will be well worth your time. Also, senior analyst on the Federal Reserve Board before that, part of, Promontory Financial Group, aka the shadow regulator. You guys can look into this. So just sharing the facts. You guys can speculate how you will. I don't think that this gentleman or anybody else has a plan to just keep XRP at $1 by any means. Okay, next up, guys, ftso.uk. So they've added a link to the Flare Network's Block Explorer on their website. So now the Block Explorer is available. You can visit it and check it out here, explorer.flare.network. Absolutely beautiful. Right here, you can essentially allow users to interact with the blockchain, browse data, looking at like block data, the information, view the transactions, view assets, and much, much more. So wanted to check it out. You can click it or access it directly from their website. Highly recommend them. I'm really liking them as an SP right now. And right here. So cannot wait for Flare to finally go live. Delays, but I think it'll be well worth it. We can see about 7,000 wallet addresses currently. Also, wanted to point this out. So this is back before the big crash in March 2020. Essentially the crash that traumatized us for quite some time. So we had this price swing high, swing low, and what happened? We retraced all the way to the 50% retracement, just like many assets. XRP did the same thing, and then boom, capitulated all the way to the negative 0.27 extension. And yeah, this may look dark. This may make you very, very sad, but when in doubt, zoom out. Zoom out now, we can see 50% crash. What happened after this crash, after everybody thought it was over? Bitcoin was under 5K, XRP hit 11 cents. Everybody thought it was over. Well, we recovered. Formed another cup, this nice V-shaped recovery. It was grueling, and right now it seems like we're encountering something like that right now. Funny enough, what did we do? Well, after this swing high, swing low, even hitting this extension, we still recovered to the 4.236 extension. One of my favorite and most high, or the highest extension I use besides this 4618. That's just personal preference. But notice, you're playing ping pong between these levels. You can't really say Fibonacci's are arbitrary numbers. They exist in everything. I even use EMAs that leverage the Fibonacci, such as the 8, the 21, and the 34 exponential moving averages. And of course, you're playing ping pong between the 3618 and the 4.236, and people say, oh, it's just luck. No, they're not consolidating between any other levels. They're ranging in these levels because Fibs don't lie. Okay, and you can do the same thing and look at XRP and kind of watch how it reacted. And notice we have swing high, swing low, went to the 50% retracement right before the Feb or March 2020 crash, and boom. Now, however, it did not reach that negative 2.7 extension, but it did reach the 4.236 and hit it several times. Coincidence? Nope, not at all. And of course, we're kind of sitting right on that too. So, and of course, this is not even considering the all-time high. When you do that, yeah, you could argue XRP heading to $10 plus. All right, now where were we? Next up. Let's see. Okay, wanted to point this out really quick. So David Schwartz, CTO of Ripple, he introduced his vision for adding federated sidechains to the XRP ledger, which means a lot of things. And check this out. So anyone that wants to, they can essentially run a sidechain to the XRP ledger. Now there's a few things that you can kind of really get into the minutia per se, but just check this out. Right here. So this concept would allow each sidechain to have its own ledger and transactions, as well as federation system that allows XRP and issued tokens, Bitcoin, fiat, anything really, to move from one chain to another. So great interoperability there. Doing so could, in theory, enable developers to implement features like smart contract functionality off of the XRP ledger mainnet. What does that mean? Well, it means less risk of harming the entire network while maintaining its existing feature set, faster deployment, and access to real assets. Boom. Future-proofing in every single way. Also, Matthew L.I.N.Y. sharing this. So BOE, this is Bank of England. They're a well-known paid RippleNet client, of course. Remember Mark Carney, the former governor. I believe it's Andrew Bailey today. And they just have this big shift. Now they have models, they have papers discussing this big shift towards digital currency bank reserves and digital currency adoption. Surprised? I'm not. Digital currency could boost economic activity by contributing to faster, cheaper, and more efficient payments. Okay, so it's still super high level. They're, dinosaurs. They're slow. All these banks are very, very lackadaisical with their approach, but at least the research is being done. So just wanted to share that. Nothing really too exciting in this read, by the way. Now, right here, CoinDesk, the World Economic Forum, the WEF, the 1% of the 1%, also where Ripple, Stellar, and a few other groups, and even like Visa, sit on the Global Cryptocurrency Council for good reason. And they published this new white paper meant to help regulators better understand DeFi. Now check this out. So you guys can click the CoinDesk if you want to see the actual published read right here. Highly recommend it. You can go right here. You can download the PDF. It's available on the WEF website. And so it just came out this month, and I actually just want to read one quick paragraph. It will be well worth your time. So June 2021, DeFi Policymaker Toolkit. Now check this out. And this has only been 1 year. How quickly things change. You can't put the rabbit back in the hat. Right here. Or the genie back in the bottle, whatever the term is. In 2020, in 1 year, the value of digital assets locked in DeFi smart contracts grew by a factor of 18. From $670 million to $13 billion. The number of associated user wallets grew by a factor of 11. Guys, a factor of 11, from 100,000 to 1.2 million wallets. And the number of DeFi-related applications grew from 8 to more than 200. This growth in turn has stimulated interest from both the private and public sectors. Now, I have complete empathy. If you're, a short-term bear in this market, you want to maximize your buys, respect. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to be picky to make the most amount of money. And if you think we're going to the moon, awesome. I have that sentiment as well. The one thing I can't agree with is somebody saying that this market is not here to stay, that DeFi will not change the game forever. Because it already is. It really is, and we have not even gotten started yet. So, ideally, the good news, we are early. The bad news, we're early. Okay, also, Mickey B. Fresh just screenshotting a few parts. I wanted to retweet this for everybody. So, with the WEF, the same thing that we just went over with this toolkit. So, I really do like the documentation. I could just show you in the report, but I just like how he has it easier here, and I didn't want to have to control, zoom for the screen. And you can see everything and kind of just overall the setup of DeFi. And it's very complicated, but these little infographics and, graphs and little, infographics really help me. You can see a variety of DeFi services. You can understand the definition of lockup yields, liquidity mining, airdrops, yield farming, liquidation fees, etc. So I found that to be very, very helpful. And last but not least, guys, shared by Future Boy, thank you for the tag. Wholesale central bank digital currencies, and we have right here the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, the central bank of all central banks. And who do we have? Mr. Benoit, head of the BIS Innovation Hub. He's previously liked numerous tweets related to Ripple and XRP adoption, specifically tweets on XRP, by the way. You could say that is, oh man, that's crazy. We're going to go to the moon and have massive adoption. Potentially. Maybe he knows something I don't, but at the same time, I also just agree that he understands the innovation in a lot of these early technologies. So the cool thing is this: the experiment contributes to this work by exploring how, with or wholesale central bank digital currencies could enhance speed, efficiency, and transparency in cross-border use cases. Now remember, some people that don't do the research, they go, oh no, central bank digital currencies are going to replace the job of XRP. False. There's last mile, domestic settlement, there's cross-border payments. And they can improve the central bank digital currency side, but they still have counterparty risk, even if it's digital. Whether it's fiat or digital, there's still an issue of counterparty risk. There's still an issue of efficiency. There's still an issue of maybe using, even with ILP with escrow. You don't check off the boxes, guys. So everybody is aiming for a spot. And yes, I'm very confident in the adoption of XRP, in the growth of XRP. We've already done $2+ billion in transactions for live, legitimate financial institutions. Financial institutions, guys. We're just getting started, and right now, it's kind of halting because we are in court with the SEC. And notice who's tagged here: SNB, the Swiss National Bank. Again, Brad Garlinghouse was there speaking, alongside with Christine Lagarde, formerly the director of the IMF, and now she's the president of the European Central Bank. Coincidence? Nope, he was also there with Hong Kong's Monetary Authority as well, and then also Bank of France, the central bank. Remember, what was it, 2020, or a couple years ago, King Solomon found it, and we went over it 1,000 times. It was Ethereum and XRP. They were both named in their central bank digital currency, or their central bank document, discussing CBDCs running on them, on their actual blockchains, or on their ledgers, I should say. Not interoperating, actually building CBDCs on Ethereum and the XRP ledger. Can't make this stuff up. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I encourage you guys to check out this little DeFi policymaker toolkit if you have time, and I will catch you in the next one.